I was welcome. Took the boys on a hunt. Yeah, we have priorities. I was gonna try to film first and then take them hunting all day, but we have priorities, so took the boys on a hunt. We are really enjoying that pack. We've played over 70 minutes so far, and we haven't even actually gone on one of the main hunts yet. Just enjoying it. Just really enjoying it. There's a hunting range and, not a hunting range, shooting range. There's a missions. You can create your own hunter and you can go out on all these missions and they have you go to um the shooting range. They tell you which weapon for which. They only did it with two of the weapons. And it's definitely a learning curve if you don't hunt because these animals have to be in a lot closer than you think they do, at least in this game. And I'm like, oh, okay, because I was trying to hit stuff. I didn't know you had a training thing. I didn't know you created your own hunter because there's no instructions. And I just couldn't figure out how I could be so bad at this game. And it just, you have to have the right weapon for the right range. And I think, I think they're going to, we've already got a deer, got two deer actually, one with the rifle and one with the bow. And, they're excited. They're excited. No, it's not the same as taking them out on an actual hunt, but they are excited and they're wild. I've been getting hunting dreams solid for like the last 3 or 4 days, and from Asmodeus, I think. Though I'm not sure, but I'm gonna say Asmodeus, and they're all pretty wild to get out and get on the hunt. And so I took them out, and I had to try twice with both the missions. The first time I went out for the deer, I think I must have hit the doe, and in the training, if you're not meant to hit it, it's immortal. So that didn't go too well. They both just took off. And the second time, I got in really super close. I mean, it just felt way too close for me, and I'm having to get used to being that close to them. And I got the buck. And either these animals are immortal and you don't hit them, or they drop with one shot. That seems to be what it is. And I got, no, you got good placement, because they're like, they do tell you how to like set up your shot and everything. So he just dropped. He didn't even run. He just dropped where he got shot. And the second time, when we were hunting with the bow, you go up in your stand, and the first time the buck almost crowded the stand. He came in with the call, but he came in at like a diagonal, and he was kind of crowding the stand, and even though he came ridiculously close, he was sort of crowding the stand. And I think the shot was just a bad shot. I mean, he definitely got hit, but he just took off. And I never could find him. And the second time, so these animals aren't on a track. I thought maybe they were on a track. He came he came in from way over. I'm not sure where he came in before, but let's say he came in from the west. He was coming from the east this time. It just beautiful. He lined himself up that time. And we got him in, and they told you how to line up the compound bow, and got him. Got him one shot. That was beautiful, and the boys are celebrating. So, and I swear I can smell deer meat cooking. I don't think it's quite seasoned yet, but I swear I smell deer meat cooking in this kitchen. So the boys are excited. And you can do stuff like that. If you can't get out to hunt, if you're like me and you have disabilities, or your eyesight and that's so poor you wouldn't be good on a hunt, yet you'd still like to give an offering like that, you can use video games. You can watch videos, you can read books, you can read magazines. They appreciate anything you can do to accept that side of them. A lot of people today are discomforted with it, but for thousands, hundreds of thousands of years, that's how our ancestors lived, hunting and gathering. If you show you can accept that part and you hadn't before, they definitely do change towards you, and it's not like you're not more valuable now. but you're accepting that part of them. They go wild. They go nuts. It's like if you ever feed Loki heartbeat. There was an article that talked about that, and I was like, okay. He said brings out his red of tooth and claw. He goes insane, and you don't even have to cook out parts. If you go to Aldi's, they got those big blue boxes of those bargain basement burgers. Look at them. I think they still have heart and lung meat in them. Loves them. Loves them. Heart and lung meat are really good eating, so don't worry about it. And they stink to high heaven, but they taste so good. They taste so good, and they're big old burgers too. Um, loves them, loves them. He loves them. He goes crazy for those. It's like he would eat them raw. I have to tell him, you can go ahead and eat the essence raw, but I'm cooking my portion. And he goes crazy for 'em. He goes nuts. Now, don't start putting raw stuff on your altar. Be respectful. You're cooking for a god. Unless you're in a hof and you're outside and you're doing the blood offering thing in the bloat, don't just start splashing blood in that on an indoor altar. You need to live in this space. You can do those kind of offerings, whether or not it's legal or not. I have no idea in your area, but you can do offerings like blood, and you can just buy blood at the grocery market. You can do blood offerings, flesh offerings outside. You don't want to do it right on your property usually because you don't want anything that's going to eat that coming right in. But if you can find a safe place and it's legal and safe for you to do so, keep in mind COVID's going back up, so be safe out there, guys. But they love that. They love that. They're impressed. And I told them maybe we'll go out later. Humidity's too much for me. I can't breathe out there. I almost dropped just opening the door. If the humidity goes down, I'll take them out later. We'll go on an egg run or probably a DQ run. Let's be real. They are over the moon with ecstasy, and I've been having a lot of hunting videos come up from the UK and stuff like that. I think it's a little bit Asmodeus, but I also think it's Odin and Loki shoving forward and being like, we're hunters too. Remember, Loki has a hunting story. It didn't work out very well for anybody but the boys, but he and his brothers were out a hunting, and he's the one that took the kill. So he's a good marksman. And turns out, I ended up having to go on an adventure to get gold, but he is very spiteful when you anger him. And since his two brothers were taken hostage, he was already out for revenge. He didn't care what he might have done before that. He can be spiteful. I love him, but he's spiteful. And he went and he got a cursed gold, and he took it and he put it all on the pelt. And Odin wanted the ring, and Loki must have slapped his hand away and said no. And Odin, knowing Loki's nature, must have been like, "Oh, okay." And they let the family keep the whole gold, and it was cursed. And the family ended up destroying each other. And Loki's like, mm-hmm. So yeah, he's a hunter. He's a hunter. He loves hunting. Odin loves hunting. In the kind of folk tales after the main lore, he was often associated with cuts of beef as well, but he's a hunter. He leads the wild hunt, which is hunting people, but um, you know, um, he loves hunting. And Loki's gonna be right there in there with him in Asmodeus. They've kind of let Asmodeus take the lead on these hunts. They're still in there, but it's a thing about Asmodeus is just he's really amped up right now for the hunting season. I think we're a couple weeks out here in this area. I'm not quite sure, but I know before October, so it's July. We're going to go into August. There's got to be something going on. There's always something going on all year round this area, and they're amped up because you go on the hunting Reddit. People are amped up because they're a couple weeks out from a lot of the seasons, so they're amped up. I mean, I don't know. Like Ismanias is already from Persia. He might be in the middle of the season there. I have no idea. And the boys are from all over in Europe, and you might be in the middle of your season there too. So, um, I don't know what it would be. I don't know enough. But once you open yourself up to that, As again, you're not better, you're not higher elevated or something. This isn't a contest, but you do get to meet that part of them. I'm getting to meet the hunter in Loki, and um, he's something else on a hunt. I will tell you what. I brought both of those deer down, but it was like I brought the deer down and these guys just surged in front of me. Like Asmodeus waited just a little bit to make sure I got down out of the stand, and Odin and Loki waited for just the microsecond my foot touched the ground, and that gave poof forward. Get in the game, and we're running across the map trying to get our deer. Those two were already there. And they do bleed out a little when you shoot them in the game. And remember, these Norse gods are gods that take blood offerings, and they take them still today. Animal blood, horse specifically for the old man, white horse. If you're gonna do it right, do it right. And they were excited. They were. It didn't matter that it was pretend blood. They were excited. They were wild. They were jumping all around. It is though an ancient magical thing that you can have equivalency, and we've certainly done it in modern magic for at least a century, because sometimes you can't get half the ingredients they used to use, and you can do alcohol substitution, blood substitution, bone substitution, stuff like that. If you can't get what's traditionally used, just use what makes sense as a substitution for you. Say something at least red for blood and so forth and so on. And it doesn't have to cost much money, it doesn't have to cost anything. You sit there, do a whole ritual, keeping your eyes closed, and sitting there and seeing the ritual through. But this is stuff you have to go learn, and you have to learn how rituals or bloats or whatever it is you want to do or set up, and then just walk yourself through that. You'll get just as good results. Really, altars are training wheels. Altars are training wheels. In the old days, they were training wheels. They're really there, they are there for them for an offering, yes, but they're kind of training wheels for you. The ideal in the old days was to reach the point where you didn't need them. And some witches can reach that, and some witches can't, and some pagans reach it, some pagans can't. And some people don't do that at all. Some people don't do ritual at all. They just do talking or prayer, whatever you're comfortable with. But it's just one way of doing things. It's no better or worse than anything else. But these boys are excited. They are so excited. I'm getting visions. We got our jerky in yesterday. Everything's out on Walmart right now, so we had to take another kind of jerky. So we got jerky in there, but they're still giving me visions of go to gas station now, get hunting stuff. Go sit in hunting stand all day. You're done with work. Go sit in hunting stand all day, get deer. They're excited. They're excited. I don't know how long this will last. It'll last as long as it'll last, for a couple weeks. I'm reckoning a couple weeks, but you know, if you open yourself up to that, there's a lot of rewards. They're happy now. They're content. They got on a couple hunts. They want to keep going out. We didn't, there's muleys and we didn't get those. There's elk. We didn't get those. Haven't brought them down a bear yet, but I'm like, let's take it slow, guys, and let's enjoy this game, because um most gamers know you play a game and you might as well really enjoy it while you're enjoying it, because you never quite come back to a game in the same way. You never do. Sometimes, rarely, you wrap back around, but I said, let's just take our time and enjoy this, and then we can go on to the next one and to the next one. I told them I ideally want to get like at least an hour out of each game, and then I'll feel like, we got our money's worth, but we're already on 70 minutes in on this game, so we're doing good. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. I'll probably be taking the boys hunting again. A lot of UK hunters are coming up in my feed. A lot of things about younger hunters are coming up. I guess YouTube's like, oh, you like hunting, huh? Here's everything you need to see. There was a girl that, did you see this? It happened a couple years ago, but it like came up in my feed, and from comments other people are getting handed it. She went out buck hunting with her daddy, and she's from an area like mine. It's farming country, and um, they were hunters in the family to be able to put food on the table, and they had a tradition. She went out and she got her first buck at 8 years old. This is a nice looking buck too. She went out and she got her first buck, and her family has their tradition. They have a shirt. They get a sweatshirt made of a picture of them doing their pose with their first buck, and it was a beautiful hunt. She did everything she needed to do. I didn't get to see it, but there was a lady doing a I don't know if it was a podcast or a radio show, but she was talking about this. And she did everything she needed to do. She didn't just go out and hunt to, shoot the first thing. She'd done all her training, everything. She got blooded, which was awesome because it was her first deer. So it must have been her very first hunt too. And I'm like, dang, taking a buck down at 8 on your first hunt? That is impressive. So her family celebrated. She put food in the freezer for the winter, so she should be proud of herself. So they got her shirt made, a sweatshirt, I think, and she wore it to school, and she was proud of herself, as she should. She fed her family. And the teacher starts picking on her and saying, "We don't do that here. That shirt's not acceptable," telling her how cruel it is and everything else. 8-year-old girl. 8-year-old girl. And the other kids being kids, they all dogpiled her. They were all making fun of her, making her cry. She came home in absolute tears, took off her shirt and threw it in the garbage. Um, Mama wasn't having any of this. They didn't say if the shirt got rescued or not, but she called and she talked to, I think it was the principal she talked to, and she said, what are you doing letting these teachers bully 8-year-old children? And he says, well, we don't have dead animals in the school. And she said, yeah? What do you serve in the cafeteria? Guys, don't mess with a farmer. She was mad, and a lot of hunters got mad on her behalf because one, she was bullying a little girl, and two, the lady, launched into this. The lady DJ or whatever she had going on there, she launched into it. Those of us that eat meat, someone killed that animal for us. Someone did the cleaning, someone did the prep, someone did the cooking. In most cases, if we're going out to get a burger somewhere, somebody did all that for us. We don't have to do it where hunters do. They have to go out and they have to kill it, have to clean it, have to, cut it up and everything else. And, they do that to feed their family. And someone else does it on our behalf. Someone else, kills the cow for us, cleans it, cuts it out, ships it out somewhere where it's probably processed even a little further, cut up into, more, and somebody makes ground meat out of it and someone else cooks it. So, we need to realize that there's no moral superiority for just eating out of the store or for hunting or for being vegetarian or for being vegan. It's all equal. We're all eating something. So, it was really, he's really been, eye-opening. Asmodeus is doing a lot of this push. Odin is like fanned out to the left, it feels like, and Loki's fanned out to the right. And I realize they're gonna like make this net and kind of go around. But Loki's a hunter too. Don't forget that. And if you can honor what we call as darker parts, and I really don't see them as dark as such anymore, but if you can honor those parts, the hunter that got revenge because his brothers were taken hostage. If you can honor the god that will put himself first and will mess things up and must be caught before he will rectify things. If you can honor Breaker of Worlds. If you can think on Ragnarok, whether you believe in it or not, and you can still honor God, with that at least being a possibility, then you can get closer and closer to Loki. You don't have to glorify in it like some people do. Some people go off the rails crazy and end up glorifying those parts. You don't have to glorify it. just be able to accept that if that's what's fated to be, that's what's fated to be. And if Loki would truly be coming back leading an army, that makes him a warrior, so you can honor the warrior aspect too. And he's been in combat in the lore too, not often, not as often as say the old man, but he certainly had a share of combat, so you can honor that too. You don't have to just keep Loki sweet and light and wrapped in a little bubble and all cute and everything. We do a lot of that around here, I know we do, but you can honor the hunter, you can honor the warrior, you can honor, you know, whatever you want to honor, breaker of worlds, whatever. Just don't go overboard. Just don't twist and warp it and make it anything unhealthy, because if he's gonna end everything in a final climactic battle, his forces, not exactly his forces pitted against Odin's, that's simplifying things, but if that's gonna happen, that's his holy duty. He has to come in and sweep the board clean. So they all do. They have to come in and sweep the board clean, and it all starts all over again. So don't be too sad about it. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.